We're going to join the granny squares together. Make a slip knot. Take 2 granny squares, wrong sides facing to each other. We go to find the stitch, the middle chain and the corner. Then back loop on this side, and then the front loop on the other side. So again, the chain and the corner. Pull through, chain 1 to skewer, and then back loop on this side, front loop on the other side. Slip stitch, back loop, front loop, slip stitch, back loop on this side, front loop on the other side, slip stitch, back loop, front loop, okay, so back loop, front loop, slip stitch, 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 back loop, front loop, slip stitch. Okay, so just continue. Back loop, front loop, slip stitch, back loop, front loop, slip stitch, back loop, front loop, slip stitch. Now we'll go to the middle chain, back loop this side, front loop on the other side, slip stitch. Okay, that's it. We're going to sew these 2 granny squares together. Again, long side face to each other. Find the middle stitch at the corner. Back loop only, and then go to the other side. Find the middle stitches again at the corner. Front loop only. Slip stitch. Now again, back loop, front loop on the other side, slip stitch, back loop, front loop, 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 slip stitch. Now we are in the middle of the stitch, back loop, and then find the middle of the stitch, front loop, slip stitch. Okay, use the same method and sew these two borders together. I will meet you there. We have sewed these 4 borders on. Now we're going to fold it. So we need to sew this border, and then we turn it on, and this border, and this as well. Okay, we're going to put these 2 borders together. So back loop, front loop, slip stitch, 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 back loop, front loop, slip stitch. Now the corner stitch, the corner chain stitch, slip stitch. So we are at the edge of this granny square sewing. So all you need to do is turn 1 for more skewer, and then we can cut it off. So same with all the edge. I will meet you when you sew all the borders on. Now we make a slip knot. Attach yarn into the border line. Chain 1, then single crochet into every stitch. Put single crochet along the border. I will meet you at the end of round 1. We are at the end of round 1. Slip stitch into the first chain. Then chain 3, This chain 3 is counted as 1 double crochet. And then put double crochet stitches into every stitch. I will meet you at the end of round 2. We are at the end of round 2. Slip stitch into the 3rd chain. Round 3, we make another double crochet nose. Chain 3, then double crochet stitches into every stitch. I will meet you at the end of round 3. We are at the end of round 3. Slip stitch into the 3rd chain. Then hold the bag like this. On the middle square, we need to leave 10 stitches in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, leave 3 stitches at each side, and then leave 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This will be our handle place. And then again, turn over on the other side. So from the border, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we have 10. We still have 10 stitches in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these 10 stitches on each side will be the space for our handle. Let's continue. So for round 4, we chain 3, then we double crochet into every stitch. Okay, until we reach the first marker. So double crochet, then we double crochet into the marked stitch. Now we chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we double crochet onto the second marked stitch. Like this. Okay, so let's continue. Double crochet into every stitch. again we chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then double crochet onto the next marked stitch. So we need 10 stitches here. Then slip stitch to the third chain. Round 5, chain 3. Then we double crochet stitch into every stitch. Okay, we reach this chain 10. So we put 10 double crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, and that's 10 double crochet stitches on this chain 10. Then we just continue and put double crochet stitches onto every stitch. Then when you reach this chain 10, just put 10 double crochet stitches onto it. I will meet you at the end of the row. We are at the end of round 5. Slip stitch into the third chain. Round 6, chain 3, then double crochet stitches into every stitch. I will meet you at the end of round 6. We are at the end of the row. Slip stitch into the third chain. Chain 1 for more skewer. The last round, we are going to use yellow color for the border. Slip stitch, attach yarn, chain 1, then single crochet into every stitch. Continue and make single crochet into every stitch. I will meet you at the end of the round. We are at the end of the round. So slip stitch into the first chain. Then chain 1 for more skewer. Cuff. Now we're going to put a border around the handle. So again, slip stitch, attach yarn to any of the stitch. Chain 1, Then single crochet into every stitch. So we have 10 stitches at each side, and then you put 2 stitches on the side and then 2 stitches here. So you're going to have 24 single crochet stitches altogether. I will meet you at the we are at the end of this handle, so we just slip stitch into the first stitch, then chain 1, cut off. Okay, make the same border to the other side. And don't forget to weave in the ends after.